welcome to Thronecast, the official guide to Game of Thrones from Sky Atlantic HD. Coming up, we'll look back at episode 1 of series 2, The North Remembers, and we'll try and untangle exactly who wants to be king and whether they've got a valid claim or not. The hunt is on for the ultimate Game of Thrones superfan. Someone's going to try and prove why it's them. And Elio and Linda, the proven rulers of Westeros.org, are here to go deep, deep into the episode with us. Remember, war is coming. Oh, and winter is coming. Oh, and Christmas is coming. And if you're a Mayan, the end of the world is coming. So on balance and on reflection, I'd leave it for now before you buy any Christmas presents. It's back! Glory be, hooray, how I've missed it. I've missed the complex politics, the wild sex, the gory violence, the incest, that great big map. I did join my local rambling society, but it just wasn't the same. So, what's new? Not Joffrey. He's still the one child who you could punch in the face with a clear conscience and with no fear of rebuke from the social services. I'd like to go to a local school and get some bullies to come and bully him. In fact, if he had a Facebook page, I'd like to cyberbully him. Now, Daenerys and her people are tired, raggedy and lost in the wilderness. But isn't that baby dragon the cutest thing you've ever seen? It's good to see as well that they've made like a little carrying case for it, like the one you take the cat to the vets in. But I think maybe she should accessorise, maybe put it in a little handbag or a papoose. And we met Craster and his lovely daughters, and that's a whole ton of wrong right there, isn't it? Ugh. Call me innocent and naive, but I really didn't know that kind of thing went on. Makes me look at those Nolan sisters in a whole new light. And I'll just re-edit that joke for the younger demographic. It makes me look at those Kardashian sisters in a whole new light. And Tyrion returned to King's Landing. Is there a weird smell in here? Oh, that's vile. It smells like dead body, garlic, and rum. Oof! Ugh. No, it's fine now. Now, are you in the dark over who wants to be king? There's 5 of them and just 1 throne, and it's a pretty uncomfortable throne at that. Thank you.
4 of 5 kings, they're calling it. Nothing matters but how it ends.
7 kingdoms to rule in Westeros, and it's all getting a bit complicated because 3 of the potential kings are Baratheons. Well, sort of. We'll work down in age order. The Baratheon family, 3 brothers, sons of Steffon and Cassana, and actually grandsons of a Targaryen on their grandmother's sides, but let's not complicate things now. Robert was the eldest Baratheon, but we all know what happened to him.
The Iron Throne is mine, by right.
Stannis is the middle brother and thinks he's got the strongest claim for the throne. He's married to Lady Florent and they have 1 daughter. They live on the island of Dragonstone, which guards the entrance to Blackwater Bay, on which sits the capital, King's Landing. Stannis' wife has fallen under the influence of the mysterious Melisandre, who has now convinced Stannis that great power will come his way if he converts to her faith. The one fly in the ointment is that no one likes Stannis very much.
Look across those fields, brother. Can you see all those banners?
Of the brothers, Renly is far more popular. Through his secret relationship with Loras Tyrell, he now has the mighty House Tyrell on his side. And then, of course, there's Joffrey. Still a Baratheon by name, if not by birth, he's turning into a bit of a monster, egged on by his equally power-hungry mother. Robb Stark is the self-proclaimed King in the North.
King in the North.
And he seems to be happy with that. And of course, let's not forget lovely Dany, far away across the sea, but still a firm believer that she is the rightful ruler of Westeros.
Dany! Oh, Dany. How your beautiful blonde locks tempt me so. Despite the fact you're so much younger, that mere detail could never quell my hunger. Although your dragon's breath might toast my bits, I'll never forget the sight of your hair. Sorry. Cheap. Right, we've decided to have our own Clash of Kings, because let's be honest, there aren't enough of them around at the moment. So we're on a mission to find and crown the Thronecast superfan. Now, this is not a job for the faint-hearted. So, in a moment of reckless nepotism, I've employed the only woman capable of the job of tracking them down. It's my radio wife, Annabelle Port. So Annabelle, your assignment is to find the ultimate Game of Thrones mega fan. Super, extreme.
Yes.
How have you been getting on?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm looking for somebody who maybe has had the map of Westeros tattooed on their back or face. Also, a couple who are fluent in Dothraki, and that's the only way they communicate at home. That's something I'm looking for as well. Maybe somebody who's had extensive plastic surgery to look more like Khal Drogo, particularly looking for that. Or somebody...
You've got a bit of a thing for Khal Drogo.
A little bit of a crush, yeah.
You like a grunter.
Clearly, yeah. Also, maybe somebody who has just very extensive knowledge and can perform amazing feats, which is what I have for you now. Hello, Lee.
Hello, are you alright?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good, good.
Nice to be here.
Good. So you would call yourself a super fan?
Yeah, not as extreme of what you've already mentioned. Plastic surgery and things like that, I wouldn't go that far.
Any tattoos, though?
No, but I do plan on getting a direwolf tattoo.
Nice.
Oh, nice. And so, Lee, tell us, what is this amazing feat you're going to perform for us today?
Well, I've got it into my head to be able to list off the kings of Westeros from Aegon I Targaryen. You're talking nearly 300 years of rich, brutal history, and it's just a way into that, I suppose.
Hang on a minute, he could be bluffing us. I want to double check this.
Ooh.
Right, here we go.
Okay, so Lee, super fan, we're ready to hear it. Take it away.
Okay, so we'll start with Aegon I Targaryen, known as Aegon the Conqueror. Then we've got Aenys the First, Maegor the First Targaryen, known as Maegor the Cruel. Jaehaerys the First, he was known as the Conciliator. Then we've got Viserys the First, Aegon the Second, Aegon the Third, who was known as the Dragonbane. Daeron the First, known as the Young Dragon. Baelor the Blessed, Viserys the Second, Aegon the Fourth, who was known as Aegon the Unworthy. Daeron the Second, known as Daeron the Good. Aerys the First, Maekar the First. Then we've got Aegon the Fifth, the Unlikely, because he was the fourth son of a fourth son. That sticks with you. We've got Jaehaerys the Second, Aerys the Second, which we're getting into where the show starts there now. We've got Robert Baratheon and Joffrey Baratheon.
Yes!
Whoa!
Yes!
Incredible. Thank you so much. That was amazing. That is why they need to bring back You Bet. Things like that. Lee, thank you. That was so good.
Lee, thank you very much. And Annabelle, good work. And if you think you can do better than that, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, or just send us a good old-fashioned email to gameofthrones@sky.com. And there's lots more interviews and cartloads of other stuff, including the official source of Game of Thrones trinkets and other things to own. Head on over to sky.com/Game of Thrones to bask in the glow of the treasures held therein. Oh, how I've missed them. Almost as much as the show itself. But now they're back. The true and undisputed rulers in Westeros.org. It's only Elio and Linda. Friendly greetings to you.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Hello. So George R.R. Martin, as well as creating this whole wonderful Westerosi world, he's also created these competing religions within it. Now, for a heathen like me, can you briefly talk me through those religions?
Sure. For the first two seasons, 4 different religions matter most of all. In the first season, you get the 2 main religions of Westeros. You get the old gods. These are the gods that Ned and the Starks and the other Northmen worship. They were the gods of the children of the forest, who were the first inhabitants of Westeros, and the first men from whom the Starks are descended picked up that religion from them. It's a sort of a nature religion. It's got nameless gods, and you see Ned and them, and kneeling before the heart tree and saying their words or their prayers. The other religion is the faith. The religion of the Seven, which the Andals brought thousands of years ago to Westeros. It's the dominant religion in Westeros. It's the religion that the Baratheons and the Lannisters all follow. And you can compare it to Catholicism, but instead of a trinity, they've got 7 gods, and they have a high septon instead of a pope, and so on. And this season we'll introduce 2 new religions that will certainly play a big part in the story.
Yes, first we have a religion that is new to the viewers, but not to Westeros, and that is the religion of the Iron Isles, where they follow the drowned god, and it's a harsh religion for a harsh place and a harsh people. their saying is, what is dead may never die, but rises again, harder and stronger. And this is a reference to their form of hardcore baptism, which involves actual drowning and resuscitation.
When you say actual drowning?
Yes, the priests hold you down under the water for quite a while and then bring you back to life, hopefully.
Wow.
And then we have the religion that Melisandre, the Red Priestess of Stannis, brings to Westeros, and it is the worship of R'hllor. And R'hllor is a deity of fire and light who combats the darkness, and you'll hear them saying the night is dark and full of terrors.
She seems like trouble to me.
Yeah, you never know. Certainly they don't seem to be promoting a healthy approach to getting children to sleep at night.
And is there severe penalties in Westeros for blasphemy? Can you be beheaded? Can you be tortured?
You know, it starts off in Westeros, it's a fairly mild religion, and they don't have a lot of trouble with people following of her faith, but I think as the series progresses, there may be more and more tension and more extremism that viewers will be seeing.
I like the sound of the harsh one. That's the one I'm going to sign up for. I'm a harsh person. I like a harsh religion. Elio, Linda, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure as always.
Okay, that's all we can squeeze in this week. We'll be back next week after episode 2, which is called The Nightlands. And we'll only be joined by Maisie Williams, who plays that Arya Stark boy. Game of Thrones is on Sky Atlantic HD Monday night, and then join us straight afterwards on Sky Anytime, or download us on iTunes, or you can find us at sky.com/Game of Thrones. And remember, the night is dark and full of errors. Is that right?